this statement here coming from the book of Psalm 40 and 7 was actually YAHAWASHI speaking in the spirit through King David. Because this prophecy here, or this statement here, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me, does not conclusively fit King David, but it fits YAHAWASHI, because really the whole book, the whole Bible, outside of the history that's contained in it and the prophecies, really the whole book is about YAHAWASHI, is about YAHAWASHI coming on the planet Earth to suffer the things that he did, and ultimately for that suffering to receive a reward, which is his kingdom on the planet Earth. Alright, so when the statement is made, lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me, that is really talking about YAHAWASHI, as one who is truly learning the scriptures will find out. As a matter of fact, if we were to look up the word volume, the Hebrew word there is magalah, and it says roll, book, write it. Really the whole book. Okay? The whole book deals with YAHAWASHI. The whole book is really about YAHAWASHI, and the book that I'm talking about is the Bible. As a matter of fact, the same scripture, the book of Psalms 40 and 7, is repeated in the New Testament, showing you that the New Testament is really nothing but a modification of the Old Testament. Okay? The New Testament was predicated upon the Old Testament. When YAHAWASHI was on earth 2,000 years ago, what did he teach? The New Testament hadn't been written already. So what did he teach? He taught the Old Testament, and he used scriptures from the Old Testament which prophesied about him. And we'll get to that in this edition. As a matter of fact, the example of when YAHAWASHI went into the synagogue and he sat down and a book was delivered to him, the book of the scrolls, and he turned to the page of the book of Isaiah, the 40th chapter, I believe it was, and he read the part where it says, comfort ye, my people. And then he closed the book and he said, this day is the scripture fulfilled in your ears. So he was telling the people in the synagogue that this scripture in the book of Isaiah, the 40th chapter, is talking about me. And we'll see another example of that in this edition of the mailbag. But let's read the book of Hebrews, the 10th chapter, the 7th verse, which pretty much says the same thing that Psalms, the 40th chapter, the 7th verse says. It says, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O heavenly Father. Okay, so you will see that this is really talking about YAHAWASHI. Okay? And he's in the volume of the book, which means conclusively the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. The whole book is talking about YAHAWASHI. Now, the next scripture which builds upon that is the book of, because remember, this is predicated upon faith. That is why I always make the statement, here to feed the elect through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. So really only the elect of the nation of Israel will really get this understanding, and the understanding will remain with them, and they'll grow in that understanding that this book is really dealing with YAHAWASHI. This book is all about YAHAWASHI. Now the scoffers and the naysayers and the reprobates, the ones that have been cast out of the faith, they will not adhere to this understanding because the Most High have rejected them. Okay? And the way the Most High rejected them is by them not accepting His Son, His only begotten Son.